Good evening, folks. Good evening indeed. Jason up New Age Revolution. Out here on the ranch, just with a very impromptu episode of the TN80sR half hour power hour. An unedited episode. No fancy edits tonight. No overlays, as they say in the business. None of that. Just straight talk. Straight up, you and me. Guys, it's Saturday night. It's Saturday night and it is almost 8 o'clock, says the outdoor clock. Why am I sitting out here? I don't think you can see this, but I've got a steak, some mac salad. Why am I out here? Well, tonight, family did some like playground grand opening / movie night in the park / fireworks, and it started at 6 and it's going until like 10:30, 11. And I just didn't want to go, so I did the unthinkable. And I said, guys, I'm not going. Heads exploded. And now I'm hanging out with you guys. So, what does a single guy do when he's single? He goes to the deli. He gets a piece of meat. He gets some mac salad. He grills it up over there in the outdoor kitchen, the grill, and he does a TN80sR half hour power hour with you guys. I'm already like 5 of these bad boys in, and I'm loving every minute of it. So let's dive in. Questions are on the phone. We already answered this Pound Puppies re-release. I thought I deleted that. All right. Okay, let's start it up. TN80sR half hour power hour. Your way to get on the channel by asking questions. Sending your questions to TN80R questions at gmail.com. Let's go to my man Bobby Campbell. Now, if you are unfamiliar, I want you to get on YouTube. I want you to type in the jackhammer Bobby Campbell. Bobby Campbell is the first inductee into the New 80s Revolution Hall of Fame wing. Bobby Campbell is the first celebrity that ever loved the New 80s Revolution. She is a multi-time boxing / kickboxing world champion. Retired, but coming back. Bobby Campbell had a fight planned. His comeback fight. Was going to be, I think it was a boxing style match against former UFC and former MMA everything, Phil Baroni. But the commission scrapped it. Commission canceled it. Because Bobby Campbell wasn't going to come up to Phil Baroni's weight. He was just going to smash him at his weight. but it got canceled. So now Bobby Campbell is back again with a new fight. But anyways, his questions are as follows. I love Bobby Campbell. He says, which line of toys in your collection is worth the most? So the ones that I'm thinking about would be the LJN line. So far, the G.I. Joes that I have. The 400 and some odd Nintendo games that I have. That's probably it. I think the collection of AWA Remcos that I have is probably cheaper than a complete set of LJNs. But what's the value on the 400 plus NES games? Right? Honestly, I think if I sold everything separately, one at a time, you don't sell in lots. If you sell in lots, you're going to lose money. If I sold each one of those three collections separately, I think the 400 plus NES games would get the most money. I think. So that's my answer. Now, also he says, ballpark, ladies and gentlemen, how much is your collection worth? I don't know. Ballpark, so, I can't get away with an I don't know because you said ballpark. I'm thinking if I took every single item, one at a time, and sold it on eBay, I mean, there's two ways to go. Do you sell it at auction? Or do you sell it at buy it now only? Right? If I took every single item, no lots, no batches, every single item, maybe 40? I'll say 40. 40 G's. Question number 3, he says, serious question. Uh-oh, we gonna talk about death again? No, he says, are you going to see Bobby Campbell versus, I assume it's Kasim the Dream Beg, who is 50-0 with 28 KOs on October 17th at Mulcahy's. Now, Mulcahy's is a little bit closer to New York City. That's the arena that Bobby's Jackhammer Promotions fights out of and promotes out of. So Bobby Campbell is now a promoter, and he promotes fights out of Mulcahy's in New York. And it's in October. Honestly, Bobby Campbell, I would love to be there. Now, back when we were talking pretty regularly, and you were going to have a comeback fight, you did say that the New 80s Revolution could corner you. I could be in your corner. So, you think about that. If you can get me a gig coming out to the ring with you, I mean, don't make me do anything. And I got a really weak stomach, so I don't want to hold your spit bucket or anything. I mean, I'll puke. But if I can come out, right? If I can wear a jackhammer jacket or a robe, I will be there. So thank you, Bobby Campbell. Thank you. All right. My man Scott. Scott is from Australia, ladies and gentlemen. I love that. I love when I get people just not from here. Not from the U.S. Just loving on the channel. I love that. We got Scott from Australia. And you know, if you look at his comments, on the channel, he's got like this pretty boy, you know, thumbnail of himself, right? You can kind of see it. I can't blow it up. Looks like a good-looking Australian fella. But he says, first, I want to say thank you for all the awesome videos. I've been following the channel for about 3 years now, since stumbling across your Hasbro videos, and I haven't left. Well, thank you. And you've inspired me to try my hand at making videos of my own. Well, that's great. Get those links over to me, and I will promote the heck out of you, my friend. I look forward to seeing new episodes of the Vintage Horror Show. Yeah, me too. And would also love to see some more camping adventures with the New 80s Revolution Jr. I know. We just cannot figure out how to fall asleep at camping. I think Liam and I were talking about a camp out in maybe September when it cools down here. And we were at Dick's Sporting Goods the other day, and we were looking at camping mats. And I'm like, dude, why don't we try a camping mat instead of these air mattresses? Like, I think we can pull it off on a camping mat. And he's like, maybe. You know, so we might try it with a camping mat. He says, I have a few questions for you. We all yearn for the simplicity of the pre-internet life in the 80s. Ooh, but hypothetically, would you trade the world of 2021 for the world of the 1980s if it came at the cost of the internet and therefore your channel and the awesome community that comes with it? Wow. There are so many different ways to answer that question. So basically he's saying, look, would you trade the technology world of today, right, the information superhighway, would you trade all that if we could go back to the 80s, simpler time, no internet, none of that nonsense, and there's other things that we're going to throw into that pile as well, but if we're going to lose the internet, we're going to lose the New 80s Revolution. Would I do it? Yeah. I would do it. Okay. So again, other ways to answer it. Am I going back there with the mindset that I have today, with the knowledge that I have today about what I would miss, you know, how I would miss this? Yeah, I still would, but I'd figure out a way to make this happen somehow in a different format, you know? Maybe a public access channel, right? That was the way you got your stuff out there. Back in the 80s, you got on a public access cable channel and you spoke to the masses. Maybe I would do it that way. Maybe I would just create a following on a public access cable channel. But guys, I'm not doing anything without the children, you know? So sometimes when I say like, I'd give it up to start all over again. If I started all over again, I wouldn't have my babies. And that's not going to fly. So, if we can figure out a way to get back in time, to take everyone with us, heck yeah. I'd do it in a heartbeat. So yeah, that's the answer, Scott. Good looking Scott. I would do it, but I'd figure out a way to make an impact with you guys on some kind of network, some kind of forum. All right. Next he says, what were your favorite fast foods as a kid in the 80s? Oh, no, he says, what were your favorite foods as a kid in the 80s? favorite fast foods, breakfast cereal, and snacks. Fantastic question. We just did top 5 candies of the 80s, but I like that question because it's a whole nother show. So I'm not going to answer it. What I'm going to do is probably try to put together a series of shows that addresses those questions. So my top 5 favorite cereals of the 80s, because many of them are still available. Because, I mean, you know, like the A-Team cereal was not a favorite cereal, right? Your Fruit Loops, your Apple Jacks, your Frosted Flakes, they're still available. So we'll get those. My favorite fast food items are still available. We'll do those. My favorite snacks are all still available. We'll do those. So I like that question. I like that question. So we'll do it. We'll do it as maybe like a series of 3 or 4 shows. And then he says, I'm from Sydney, Australia, and I'm wondering if you've ever been down under. Oh, that's a very personal question. Maybe with a few more of these, I'll be allowed to go down under. No, I haven't been anywhere. I've been to Montreal. I've been to Toronto. And that's it. That's as far out as the country I get. I would love to go to a real country. Not that Canada's not a real country. It is. I would immigrate there tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, if I could. Trust me. But, like, Canada is, like, right above me. I would like to get on a plane and go to the UK, go to Australia. Absolutely. I never have, but I would love to. And I don't know. As I get a little older, you know, we start thinking about bucket lists and things like that. Who knows? Maybe the big overseas trip to Australia is in the works. I will let you know. Scott, I'll let you know. And I want some Fosters waiting for me. Right? Because that's the stereotypical Australian beer, isn't it? Thank you for your questions, brother. That's it. What time we got here? We're at, we're only at 18 minutes. We're killing this. All right. Let's go back. My man Johnny8585. He says, you are the nation's 80s station. That is beautiful. I am the nation's 80s station. Love that. He says, Mr. Nutt. And that's truly how I like to be greeted. Mr. Mr. Nutt, you are great. What happened here? Look, if you lead with that, you're in. Mr. Nutt, you are great. Thank you for the mention in the last Q&A. Of course, Johnny F. I know I will be put at back of the line after my first series of questions. Nuh-uh. But that's cool. Okay. He says, have you seen the movie UHF with Weird Al and Michael Richards, who obviously played Kramer? Do you like him? Weird Al. His wackiness, his videos? I'm not sure if he has a figure, but perhaps NECA or Random Treasures will do one with Hawaiian shirt, bat suit, bucket of chicken, and surgical gown, slippers, scalpel. Yes, NECA did a Weird Al figure. I have it. It doesn't come with all those accessories. It comes with an accordion and a couple of heads. But I have a Weird Al figure. I loved Weird Al as a kid. Loved him. the one album that I listened to the most was the Fat album, right? Because it had Fat. Michael Jackson's Bad, but it had weird songs like "Stuck in a Closet" with Vanna White. I remember was one of the songs. Oh, we're running out of beers here, guys. I have when you bring out a handful of beers, they get warm in this weather. I have a cooler. I'll show it to you in a minute. Hopefully you didn't see that. I just spit macaroni salad out. But I have a cooler. I just don't buy ice for it. I'll show it to you in a minute. Anyway, yeah, I love Weird Al. Love Weird Al. Loved him. Listened to his music as if it were cool to listen to his music, right, when I was a kid. And it drove adults nuts. Like, adults got so annoyed at Weird Al when I would listen to it. So, strangely, I'm going to turn on the lights in a minute. You want to come with me? Let's turn on some lights. Come on. We'll take you around the compound. I got these lights. I don't know if they're going to make a big difference, but it's getting dark out. I'll turn on the house light here. Alright, there's that. And then we'll plug in some of these. That's not it. Alright, that's it. Alright, we got the lights on. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference. But I put some of those up on the old... Where is it? There you go. On the house. I don't know if it'll make a difference. Probably not. But let's sit right back down with you here. Alright, yeah, so no, I strangely have never seen UHF. I don't know why. I just haven't. He says, if you could own or drive a famous 80s car or van, which one would you want and why? All right. That's a good one. So obviously he's talking about Knight Rider, General Lee, the A-Team van, I don't know, whatever else, the Fall Guys truck, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Today, the one that's most possible, and I've kind of thought about doing this a little bit, is the A-Team van, right? I actually love those 80s, you know, they get kind of a bad rap for being like pedophile vans, but I love those 80s vans that you don't see anymore. I really like them. Ooh, that's too fatty. I don't want the grizzle. So I've actually thought about getting a van like that, and then just having someone paint it A-Team, right? How hard can that be? I think that's going to be my answer, right? Because I'm not a car guy. I'm not much of a car guy. I don't care about cars. So I wouldn't really maximize the Knight Rider, the General Lee, stuff like that. I'm not a car guy. The A-Team van, painted up like, a replica, is so doable. So doable. and is actually a quality vehicle. Right? It's huge. It's like pickup truck style big. You can fit stuff in it. If you want to go camping, you could sleep in your van. And you're driving around like the A-Team. And what did it cost you? It costed you a paint job. Right? Easy. That's not too far out of the realm of possibilities. So thank you, Johnny. Johnny Feely. Those are gone. So we got more. We got many, many more questions. Several of you asked several questions. We'll get to them. It's getting dark. I'm gonna finish this up, and I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the night. It's a little after 8. I'm alone. I'm on my own. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll see y'all later. Good night now.